I just finished watching the Spider-Man No Way Home movie, and this is a spoiler alert and my theory on what's going on with the Spider-Man movies. Now, at the end of the Spider-Man, the post-credit scene, you see Peter Parker going into the little bakery that MJ is working, right? And in that scene, you see Ned in the background. And I believe that now MJ is actually going out with Ned because they were getting along before, and it doesn't make sense that he will be there and then she'll call him, hey, look, it's my little engineer. And that's a little bit weird, and Spider-Man, Peter Parker, he overheard that and he kind of just backed off, like saying, yo, maybe I shouldn't tell them anything. So that means maybe he figured that they're going on, and then he didn't say anything. And the movie itself is like a reboot of the Spider-Man because they erase his entire past. Nobody now knows that he's an Avenger or he's Peter Parker. His aunt dies, and none of the. And now he's like move on his own, and now he has nobody to care about. Like it's like starting his cartoon version of Spider-Man, and he's going back to his old Spider-Man original red and blue suit. So he's making his own costume. It looks like he's a reboot of the Spider-Man movie. So this is gonna be like the next Spider-Man movie if they do another one. It looks like they're gonna start from the beginning of like him going back to his old roots, like maybe meeting the real MJ, or maybe I don't know what's going on, because he needs to meet someone to care about so he could continue as Spider-Man, I believe. And Jamie Foxx, Electro, when he was put down by the Garfield Peter Parker, he said he only wished that there was a black Spider-Man. So maybe that's hinting for the Miles Morales Spider-Man. So that's another theory. So in this Spider-Man movie, it's like it was nothing happened really, but they wiped out all of Spider-Man's background and his memories. So it's like he never existed. This movie is probably, it sounds like a reboot. Like they're gonna reboot the Spider-Man and retell the story a different way again. So who knows? Because now nobody knows who he is. He's not an Avenger. He doesn't have MA. He doesn't have any of his high school friends that know who he is. Now that means his whole persona is wiped out. So this Spider-Man movie is kind of a good homage to the other Spider-Man movies, and it's crazy that the Green Goblin from the past, from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, actually killed Aunt May. And that means Aunt May is actually, and told on the line, with great power comes great responsibility. So that means that Aunt May is like that Peter Parker's Uncle Ben. That explains a few little things here and there, but kind of counter the other stories from the other Spider-Man movies. Now it looks like maybe their villains are alive now. So, but they all disappeared at the end of the movie. So now it's more confusing now than it was originally. So it doesn't. You don't know if the other villain survived, and you don't know if they're gonna continue torturing the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. Are they gonna continue those movies? And Venom also makes a cameo, but it was not significant, other than a drop of his Venom blood just lands now in this new Spider-Man universe. So they're just gonna probably get rid of that Venom and just gonna start again with a new Venom, and maybe the whole story with the Venom, Spider-Man becoming the symbiote, and a new uh, Venom. So that's my thoughts on the Spider-Man No Way Home. It's of a more of a bigger puzzle now and more confusion than there was before. And Doctor Strange is another story. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's my theory on Spider-Man No Way Home.